Hey Eurovision fam, it's Alesia Michelle, and welcome to the Eurovision for Real podcast. The rehearsals have not started yet. And yes, we have the privilege of being delusional a little while longer. Just a little while longer, because we know when those photos start coming in, we're not going to be able to be as delusional for our favorites. But before I get into this conversation, you already know what we gotta do. Eurovision for real with Alesia Michelle.
Hello, everybody. Hope you can now hear me loud and clear. It's Augusto from Eurovision Fam over here. Reaching out to y'all from the beautiful Dominican Republic. It's actually sunny the day we're recording this. And so excited to be here, Alicia. Thank you for having me once again.
I am so excited to have you. And also, this is one of the few times this year that we've spoken where I can say it is also a beautiful, sunny, and warm day in DC. Okay. So you're not rubbing it in too much, but you've got the beach.
We do.
You've got the beach. I do not. But you know what? You know, the people traveling to Basel, they don't have the beach and they don't have this warm weather. So we can rub it in with them. And we're getting into semifinal two. And I'm not going to bury the lead. Come on, Augusto. Who do you think is winning this semi?
I'm torn because
Okay.
of one country in particular in this semifinal
Okay.
and the history of what happened last year and
Okay.
what happened. But to me, my winner is our closer. It's Finland.
Okay. But here's the thing that I think. I'm living in a world because I do feel like last year Israel had hype. I mean, like, let's just be real. Like, there was a hype train going. There was a whole professional, like, marketing team going. And I don't know if this year there's that much of that. And so, do I think Israel could win the semi? Absolutely. Like, Israel could totally win the semi. And let me just get this out of the way. I said this last year, even though people will give me no credit from Israel. None of them are going to acknowledge that I said this because it won't fit the narrative that a lot of
Correct.
them want to push. But Israel is a reliable country at Eurovision when it comes to staging and the performer. The performers can sing. We're not going to get a bum note. The staging is going to look beautiful. When it comes down to it at the end of the day, you just have to decide whether you like the song or not. For me, I think that there are stronger ballads in this semi. I mean, I'm looking at one, Austria is basically a ballad until you get to the end. you know, I actually prefer Montenegro's sort of power bond ballad,
Same.
quiet as is kept, and I prefer Greece, like their ballad that they're giving us. So I will say that, but I'll tell you, I might prefer Israel's ballad to Serbia's.
You know
No,
what? You know what? Credit where credit is due. I
you
agree with
know,
that statement. It is true.
s-
Like,
so we're not burying the lead. So I'm just saying because no one will give us credit for this because it won't fit a narrative, but I just want it to be
exactly.
said. But I do think because we don't have that deep marketing hype train. At least I haven't seen it lately or I haven't seen it yet.
Neither
I,
have I. Neither have I.
I do think it is possible for Finland to win the semi. I think that is not a crazy thing to say. And if we're talking dark horses, Malta, Malta
Uh,
to win the
yes.
semi?
That would be a shocker, but a great shocker.
I'd
It
be
is a
okay
song
with
that is
it.
worth. It is a song that is worth the hype, and it's worth
Yeah.
to be rewarded very high. It's it's had momentum ever since it was picked for from its national selection at the pre-parties. Every single performance was unique, and Mariana has not given us a single bum note all of these months.
Come on now. Come on now.
Like,
Vocals. Vocals.
and honestly, this is one of the rare times Malta can copycat the staging from its national selection and not tweak it that much.
Well, hold on. I disagree. I think that if Malta wants to contend for the win, we I think there were good ideas. I don't think we have to throw all of the ideas out of the door, but we do need to refine, and I do think we need to get a little bit more intentional because at the national selection there were a lot of ideas. I don't think all of the ideas worked. I think we just need to do a couple of those ideas. Because this is the thing, Malta has the kitsch, they have the fun, they've got a vocal. If that staging is tight, and as everyone knows, I love Finland, okay? Ich komme, ba ba da da da. Okay. I'm into it, but I would also be here for, if that makes any sense. I would be here for Malta winning the semi. And remember, and some people always say, oh, Malta struggles with the televote. Destiny won the semi, though.
Yes.
In Turin, she won the semi. So everyone was saying, like, Malta struggles with televote. When Malta comes correct and with power, and I will also say, Malta is giving us a marketing campaign. Hello, Duolingo collaboration. All right. Apparently, in the airport in Basel, there is a Duolingo billboard with you could be serving can't
Yes.
in 40 plus languages. Okay. So the marketing campaign is happening for Malta this year. Maybe not even on purpose, maybe not even cultivated by them. But I give credit where credit is due. Okay. They decided we hyping our thing. So the locals are picking it up organically, I guess, and doing it. Okay, so we basically agree for who's winning the semi. Let's talk about this. Who should qualify? Who should qualify? And I guess within this conversation, who may surprisingly flop? What are you thinking?
So, which country do I think might surprise us and flop? It's an unpopular opinion, but it might be Luxembourg.
I don't know if it's unpopular. I I think I might agree with you there. But the only thing that makes me nervous is I didn't love Luxembourg's entry last year. Like, I thought it was cute, and last year was a more competitive year, and I was fine with it advancing, but there were moments where I was like, oh, but is this going to be enough? The only thing that makes me think it's going to make it is because I think the Eurovision purists and a lot of the fans will recognize that it is referencing, hello, Poupée
Poupée
de
de
Cire.
cire, poupée de
Yeah.
son.
So I think that there's something there, but could I tell you, like, even more unpopular? And this is coming from fear. I want to say this. This is coming from fear as a Eurovision fan who loves Popera, who has seen Popera not do well. I'm
Ooh.
like, we're all just assuming because JJ has these phenomenal vocals, and Austria tends to be good with their staging. They do, for the
They
most part,
do.
tend to stage well. I think they've made some mistakes, like, who the hell is Edgar? I don't think that staging was great. But I know that there are people who sometimes find opera silly, and I think it'll be fine, but I just want to put it out there, maybe to prepare myself, that we're thinking Austria might win the whole show, but what if they only qualify for the final fifth or sixth? Like, that could happen.
It's a possibility, especially coming up from the winner we're coming from.
Yeah. Well, I don't even think because of the winner. I think it is more possible because of how Popera has been treated at Eurovision
I agree.
ultimately, and it's not like it's done super well. So I'm just saying it. The other surprising flop, if I'm looking at the list, mm, I'll say this. Surprising for me would be Greece. because say what you want to say about Grease being inconsistent with the staging, this song is so far and away one of the best songs we have this year,
I
studio
agree.
cut wise. To have a final without this song, to have and we know Claudia is going to sound great. So for me, surprising flop would be Grease. And even because I have a theory that even if the staging isn't all that we need it to be, just off the vocal in the studio cut alone, it should make it. It should
It
make it.
should. It should.
We need that song kind of in the final for the mix of what we have.
I need it too. I think Grease is coming with such a powerful song that is very historic and very strong and with a
Yeah.
message and comes out of the heart. So we definitely need it. We need that sound as well.
Yeah. Okay. We're doing this rapid fire. I love it. We're not mincing words. We're gonna cut to the chase. Folks are like, I need to hop into this. I need to figure out who I'm watching, before the
Yes,
show starts. Okay. And mind you, this is before rehearsals, so we're allowed to be a little delusional over here, okay?
we
You
are.
too, you too can be delusional when you have nothing really to work with and compare to. So we're leaning into it. Okay, so I preface this before I say, so who you think ain't gonna make it? From semi to who you think ain't gonna make it?
I have two songs that personally I see DOA in this semifinal. You love one, and the other one,
Oh,
it's a Balkan country.
okay.
Serbia, just like you would name them, Serbia. Serbia. Let me hold your hand with a napkin in between when I say this. This is not your year.
Mhm.
It is not. So sorry.
I mean, here's the thing. We have to be realistic. I mean, we're still living in delusion. So I'll say the delusion in me goes Balkan ballad, you know, if we're losing Montenegro, which some of us have accepted that we can lose Montenegro, then Serbia's in. Because I'll also say, I'm also living in a world where I don't think Croatia's making it, Montenegro's not making it. The idea of a Eurovision final without one of the ex Yugo countries in it does not feel good narrative wise and does not feel good given the trends that we are seeing at Eurovision.
I agree.
But I will tell you, Serbia had other weapons in the arsenal that we're just not getting. Volkala, my girl. Volkala, my girl. I love that song. Not to mention Turbo Joka. I mean, I just and both of those would have qualified with ease, in my opinion. With
Even the
ease.
even the drag queens would
Oh
be
yes,
run.
the harm girls. The harm girls would have qualified. Okay, I do believe the harm girls would have qualified. So as much as I kind of say all the things that make me go, I mean, ultimately, I'd be fine if Serbia qualified. My issue is I would not be fine with it qualifying and us leaving Latvia on the shelf. I would
Thank you.
not be okay with that. I
Thank
just,
you.
and I will also say, Prince, they released a picture, not of the staging, but it clearly is like teasing, I think, a little bit of what Prince is probably wearing. It's Prince with some dancers. They decided to go with some like contemporary styling and staging. And I'm like, why would you do that? The song Mila, give us the drama, like lean into the Balkan ballad of it all. Don't go contemporary because now you're going to be competing with Czechia. You don't want to do that. You
He's
don't want to do
losing. I'm sorry.
that.
He's
You don't
losing
want
the
to do
battle.
that.
The other, I
Mm.
mean, now, the other country I see already DOA, and it's the country that you love, it's like a party in Ireland.
Here's here's the thing. I saw a quote. I saw a quote from Emmy. Basically, it's giving. I'm going to do basically what we did on the Late Late Show stage. And with love to all the people who were like, oh, well, Like a Party was the only one ready for the Eurovision stage. Well, guess what? Now
No.
you're getting what you got on the Late Late stage on the Eurovision stage. How'd that work out for you? Not great. Not great. That's not what we want. Y'all would have been better rolling the dice with Railta and Fire and Bobby Arlo, where we would have at least had a little bit of intrigue of like, well, we don't even really know what we're about to get. Like, this might be really, an immersive experience. I don't, given the quotes, I was holding out for an immersive experience. I was holding out for an immersive experience. Ireland, we know, actually has the budget. They let the performers kind of take the lead when it comes to the creative decisions, which obviously worked out with Bambi because they have an amazing point of view and a very clear vision for themselves. I I am fine letting Like a Party go. I am fine letting it go if that staging is giving me Late Late Show flashbacks. And but I do think the studio cut is better than what Serbia's doing, Georgia, and honestly, I prefer it to Luxembourg. But again, I knew from the beginning with Luxembourg, like, just not my type of thing. Which is funny because I love Fred Skull. Like, I love that. But I'm like, but something about this one,
It's
it's
not
a little
clicking with
too
you.
it's just too youthful. It's way too youthful. And some people are like, well, Like a Party's youthful. I was like, yeah, but it's giving Aqua. So it feels nostalgic for me. This one feels like a song that would be on the Care Bear show that I watch with Josephine, who is my 4-year old. Okay. Like, it just feels straight off of that. And I'm not into it. Who else do you think is like, yeah, definitely not making it?
You named it Georgia.
Okay.
The
Okay.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
As we mentioned in the previous
Yeah.
conversation we had, Georgia has given us much better quality entries than this one. No shade to that girl. She can sing. She is very beautiful. She
Hmm.
seems charming, regardless of what the internet sleuths might be uncovering about her,
Okay.
allegedly.
Okay.
But Georgia has given us better than this. Point blank.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. 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 Yeah, Georgia, I don't feel like, even though I think it is going to be delivered well on the stage, I, I don't need to advance this. I don't think we need this in the final. There are other songs that are even like more cusp that I could make a stronger case for. So we're living there. Well, can I just, okay, who's going to surprise us on the stage? Who do you think is going to surprise us on the stage?
To me, I I have a linger of hope that Denmark
Okay.
does it, but I think our biggest surprise will be Australia.
See, I'm lighting a candle that Denmark will be a surprise for us because basically Sissel's been clear and is like, we're doing a totally different thing. So just inherently that'll be a surprise. But I'm also kind of like, is it going to be a good one? Because this is the thing, like, Denmark plays it safe in so many different ways. And so I don't want to get my hopes up too high for
I
Denmark,
agree. I agree.
because if we get our hopes at like, oh, it's going to be totally different, and then we just look at it and it's like, okay, just like the song was reminiscent of Euphoria, this is giving reminiscent of, every other pop perfection like track we've had from a female artist. And I just think this isn't really the year for that. And as much as I can defend Sissel because I love the vocal,
Oh,
and
the
I
vocal
really
is
do.
great.
Yeah. And honestly, the song, I don't mind. No, it's not revolutionary, so I'm not fighting people about it. But I do, but it is a palpable song. But I won't defend it too much. I really, really won't, because I do think we have some more interesting competitive songs this year. So I won't be let down. But Australia is going to be my other surprise. I really feel like Australia is going to channel a little bit of Voyager.
Yes,
Yeah, I think we might get a little bit of that vibe, and that's the Australia that we need
I agree.
this year. So I'm hopeful for them. Is there any Austria I'm curious about? I mean, my hopes are high, But
There's
I actually think that I'm going to be pleasantly surprised with the overall package with it. I'm partial, but I do think that I'm going to be like, I think I'm going to think that this is better than what even think it's going to be. And I have high expectations, and I think I actually am going to have them not just met, but exceeded.
And here's the thing: Austria got the same stage professional who did Bambi's last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
So Sergio Jaén is going to do something magical with Austria. They
Yeah.
are in good hands.
Yeah.
The only with out of the three countries he's going to stage, my biggest clue on what is he going to do is in semifinal one, and that's
Mm.
Cyprus. But the
Yeah.
two that he has in this semifinal, they're both going to be good because Austria with the song itself,
Hmm.
great material, and Finland, we already know what he did in
Yeah.
UMK with Erica, and it's almost going to be the exact same thing.
Yeah.
They're not missing a beat. This is going to be really good.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Semifinal two is our strongest semi
It
this year.
is.
This is the best one. And I'm happy actually about that because I think we will actually have a nice rev up this year. Because sometimes when semifinal one is the bloodbath strong semi, then it's like everyone kind of tunes into semifinal two, like, oh, okay, well, what do we got? But I think this year we've got a nice like arc of
We
hype
are.
that we're gonna build. And I do think we're gonna have a good grand final. I actually think this year is about the show and what we're gonna see. This is not a year about studio cuts. And I say that sort of bittersweet because I have to prepare myself to maybe let go of some of these studio cuts that are superior to some of the other ones in
Yes.
favor of what they're doing to bring it to life on stage. Because ultimately, Eurovision really is about how you bring the song to life on stage. Well, that's it for the Eurovision for Real podcast. Augusto from EurovisionFam.com. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to come in and chit chat with you.
I know we got to do this more. We're going to do this again.
Yes, we are. Yes, we sure are.
We're going to do this again. Okay, we'll figure it out. Thank you so much for watching or not watching,
For
listening. I'm so
listening.
used to that. Thanks so much for listening. And we are ready to watch Eurovision 2025.